Hi everyone, Luke here from Weekend Tour Pros. You're joining me today as we continue our testing of the Wilson 2024 golf club range. This time we are testing the Wilson Dynapower Fairway Wood. This golf club looks absolutely stunning. It performs as good as any other golf club out on the market today, and it comes in at 30 to 60% cheaper. So hopefully over the next 10 minutes or so, I'm going to demonstrate to you why you absolutely need to put this on your test list, because it might just save you a fortune. I'm also going to tell you why it might just end up as the 14th club in my golf bag for the 2024 season. Let's get stuck in. So I've just got the Wilson Dynapower Fairway Wood in my hands for the very first time, and first impressions are it's another stunning golf club from Wilson and perfectly to my taste. The crown of the club has got that matte finish, which I personally prefer, with that little bit of flash of the Dynapower logo and that line-up line to help us just set the ball up square to the club face. When we turn it over, we've got the Wilson, the Dynapower logos, we've got the loft of the fairway wood and the number of the fairway wood, and a little bit of texture to the bottom of the club as well. We've got that 12-gram rear weighting, which helps increase the MOI, which is hopefully going to make this club a little bit more forgiving, make it a little bit more easier for us to launch. In terms of the face, we've got the AI technology that Wilson have been using in their clubs for a while now. Like lots of manufacturers, this face, they've used AI data from thousands and thousands of shots to work out where they need to make the face a little bit thicker to just help maintain those ball speeds and give us that forgiveness on those off-center hits. In terms of the shaft itself, it comes with a hazardous smoke by standard. It's really cool because it's a red and it's a black shaft, which fits in really, really nicely with that color scheme. This is a really nice looking golf club. I'm really excited to give it a hit and see what numbers we get out of it. Let's hit some shots. Oh, that felt good. That felt really good. Such a shame that I've just tugged it down the right hand side, but it felt really nice and felt really easy to hit. The feeling off the face was really good, actually. I really liked that. So what we're going to be looking at here is, because I go game of 3 wood, I'm going to be looking for some numbers that are very somewhere in between my 5 wood and my driver. So we're going to be looking for ball speeds towards the top end of the 120s, which you've got 125.2 there. We're going to be looking for a carry that's in the high 180s, low 190s, and we're going to be looking for some kind of peak heights that are somewhere in that 50 to 60 feet range, exactly what we saw there. So it was definitely, considering that was a pull down the right hand side and quite a big one, it was some really good launch and some really good height. Oh, nice ball speed number that time. Again, if I could hit this shot, that shot straight, they would be the numbers I would exactly want to see out of a 3-wood. Ball speed at 127 mile an hour, delivering that spin rate just above 3,000, which gets it up in the air, a bit more spin than my driver, a bit less than my 5-wood, carrying at 190, totaling 214. It feels great. That's the first thing I can say, is I really like it down at address. I love the shaft and the color combo. That's right up my street. It fits in with my black and red Titleist golf bag as well. It's such a sleek looking golf club in that regard. I do like the profile of it. That's slightly not as flat and squished as my Ping 3 woods. I do like that profile. It does seem to inspire a lot of confidence, the size of the head. It's not too big, but just a nice size. That might be the best one yet. Oh, that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Love those numbers. So 126 mile an hour ball speed, spinning at 2.6, carrying 190, totaling 218. Again, that launch and that peak height on every one of the every one of the okay or good hits, very, very consistent in that sort of 11.5, 12 degrees, and that peak height of sort of 50 to 55 feet. They are some really good numbers. That's the shot I want to see out of this golf club. If I can hit that time after time, I would put a 3-wood in my bag. That there is a really nice shot. Again, you see this all the time if you watch my videos in the bay. I just struggle with, I don't know if it's alignment or wanting to aim far enough left, but I just seem to always hit a little bit of a pull in the bay. But look at that golf shot there, 128.6 of ball speed, exactly the number I would expect to see. That spin rate at 3,000, just over again, exactly what I'd want to see. Carrying at 194, totaling at 219, that launch again around 11 degrees, and that peak height of 56 feet. These are really consistent numbers. That's one thing I would say about all the Wilson clubs I've tested this year. As much as the numbers have been good, they've been so consistent when I'm the handicap golfer here, and that is really, really impressing me. Really impressing me. That one is awesome. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. 129 of ball speed. Smash factor at 1.49, how efficient is that strike? Spinning at 2.9 because we've absolutely buttoned it. Carrying at 197, totaling at 222. That launch again, just over 11 degrees. Peak height's crept up just under 60 feet. And it's then, what we're looking at there, 8 yards right of target. That is a golf shot. I would absolutely take that golf shot all day and run with it. That's another one that I would absolutely take. Look at that, 127 mile an hour ball speed, spinning at 2.9, carrying 196, totaling 219. Just because I've left the face open a touch there, we've got a bit more height and a bit more launch out of it, to doing exactly what you would expect it to do. But again, we're talking about me holding the face open 0.3 of a degree or 1 degree from my path. That's a nice shot. It's finished, what, 7 yards left of target? I will take that from 218 with a 3-wood in my hands. I think I've just tugged that down the right. Overcorrection. Oh no, I haven't. I've got a feel for this club now. It took me a couple of shots, which is to be expected, right? It's the first time I've picked it up. It's the first shots you're seeing on camera. But 127 ball speed again, 3.2 on spin, 193 carry, 215 total, launching 11.5, 62 feet of peak height. It's just a great, great golf club from Wilson yet again. Why would you not game this? 126 mile an hour ball speed, 3.6 on the spin. It's crept up a little bit, carrying at 190, totaling at 209. Launching again in that just under 12 degree bracket, peak height a little bit higher because again I've just left that face a fraction open. Good looking golf club, fantastic value for money, performs as good as anything out there and super, super consistent. Why would you not buy it? That's the simple message. Wilson should put on their golf clubs, their new tagline should be, why wouldn't you buy this golf club? Because I just can't think of a reason why. Wilson is a massive brand in sports goods, absolutely massive. Tennis, other sports as well. It's been a huge player in the golf industry for years. And there's a number of tour pros using these clubs. And they're absolutely awesome. Please, please, please test this. If you need a new fairway wood and you want to save some money, test this. I just can't believe that one. I've actually not hit that one that great. And we've still got 125 mile an hour ball speed. I've still carried it 190. Like, I just wouldn't have felt that out on the golf course. It's crazy. Absolute crazy. What have we got there? 126 of ball, 187 on the carry. I'm actually just, I keep hitting that pull and closing the face down, I've just weakened off my grip ever so slightly. Just a bit of experimentation while I'm in the bay. It's probably helping that ball flight. That is an awesome one to finish on, so I'm going to leave it there. I've delivered a face and path that is absolutely neutral to each other. 127 of ball speed, exactly what we were seeing throughout. That spinning around that 3,000, exactly what we were seeing throughout. 193 of carry, 217 of total. That launch has been so consistent throughout, so has that peak height, just depending on what I've done with the face. Just backs up the numbers here really, really well. So done hitting shots with the Wilson Dynapower Fairway Wood. First impressions in the bay, stunning looking golf club, really super consistent in terms of its performance, incredible value for money. What I want to do is just go home and dissect all this data in a little bit more detail and just see if there's any final thoughts that come out of the data sets. Let's do that now. Right, so before we deep dive into that data, I always like to show you a comparison versus a club in my own golf bag that's as close as possible to the club that I'm testing. Where my longest fairway wood is a 5-wood, on this occasion I've only been able to compare against that with expectations that a well-performing 3-wood would gap nicely between my 5-wood and driver, and to bring to life the numbers relative to my own games to offer you some perspective against your own numbers. Now, starting on the left hand side, as expected, the Wilson Dynapower 3-wood delivered 2.3 mile an hour more clubhead speed and 2.8 mile an hour more ball speed than my Ping G425 Max. The smash factor on both golf clubs is incredibly high, and whilst you usually expect it to increase as you move up the bag, I think we can all agree that 0.01 difference is probably more due to the fact that the Wilson hasn't yet been fit to me. Moving on to the spin rates, we can see that the Wilson Dynapower spans circa 470 revs less than my Ping 5 would. If you've watched my driver reviews or ball reviews, you'll know that I'm always seeking a driver spin between 2,500 and 2,750, so this would gap really nicely. Launch angles, peak heights and land angles were all fractionally lower with the Wilson Dynapower 3 wood, like you would expect, and super consistent considering this is data from 10 shots in the hands of a mid-handicapper who struggles to hit a 3 wood. The carry distance with the Wilson Dynapower 3 wood was 5.2 yards longer, but due to that lower ball flight, the total distance stretched out to 9.5 yards longer. Again, the consistency of that carry distance in particular did super impress me. Finally, I just want to show you my shot dispersion. You'll see that from the front to back it's very similar to my 5 wood, but marginally worse left to right. But again, this is to be expected, and for someone who usually does everything to avoid a 3 wood, I was super happy with this consistency. Some really interesting numbers there from the Wilson Dynapower Fairway Wood, and that leads me nicely into my 3 concluding thoughts. First of all, this golf club is incredibly consistent. Now, I'm probably getting bored of saying that about the Wilson 2024 golf clubs, but it is an overriding conclusion that I've got that every single Wilson golf club I've tested in my hands as a mid-handicap golfer is incredibly consistent. The standard deviation, the front to back dispersions, the left to right dispersions, they're always super impressive. And every single time I hit one of these Wilson golf clubs, including this fairway wood, I come away feeling super confident and better about my golf game. And that's a great trait for a golf club to have. The second point I want to make goes back to something I said while I was in the bay hitting the shots. Why wouldn't you game this fairway wood? It looks absolutely fantastic. It performs as good as any other fairway wood that I've tested, and at the price point of £199, it's anywhere between £50 and £130 cheaper than any of the other fairway woods from the main manufacturers available on the market for custom fitting today. I just don't know why you wouldn't at least give this a test, especially with how good this golf club looks. And that leads me really nicely into my third and final point. Right at the start of this video, I said stay tuned to find out why this might end its way up in my golf bag for 2024. As you've been able to see from the data sets, I've got a gap in my golf bag between my 5 wood and my driver, and I've always steered clear of putting a 3 wood in there because I just don't hit it that consistently. I've had an opportunity to take this fairway wood out onto the driving range with me and see how it performs out on the grass, and I've also been really impressed by it. And I've recently changed golf courses, and my new home golf club has a couple of shots where I really would benefit from just a few extra yards and the ability to chase a fairway wood in there into that sort of second shot on a long par 4, or to get me a little bit closer to a par 5. And we've got one par 3 in particular that's incredibly long, often plays into wind, and I'm always undecided between trying to thump my 5 wood and reach the front edge, or take a little bit off driver and play that sort of finicky shot that I normally struggle to hit. And I just think having a 3 wood that I'm confident I can just hit consistently off the tee onto that green would be a really nice club to have, and where I've got the space in my bag, I think I can afford that luxury. So if you do stay tuned and watch any of my course vlogs for 2024, keep an eye out to see if you see the Wilson Dynapower Fairway Wood make its way into my golf bag. Now, all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for watching my video. If you like the content, please do hit that thumbs up button. It really does help other like-minded golfers to find my videos on YouTube. And if you're not yet subscribed to Weekend Tour Pros, I'd really love it if you hit that button down below, ring that bell icon, and you'd get notified of all my videos as they land on YouTube every single week. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.